Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tech Friday right here on twitch.tv DC Lasair or YouTube or Moonbeam, wherever you're watching. And today, it's Tech Friday. Yay! Quite possibly the second anniversary of Tech Friday, so confetti.
Yeah, confetti, definitely.
Confetti, yeah. And I have a very special guest over this way.
I don't know what direction anything. I think I should remember how to do this from Rivals of Waterdeep, so you'd be that way.
Yeah.
I would. So little vignette before I say hi. If anybody remembers having pictures taken when you were like a kid or in high school, and the photographer would do something really silly to get you ready, but not ready for the photo, that's what DC's countdown today was like. He tried to fake me out with like hitting the 1 and then didn't go live. So yeah. But now that I'm actually on and there's confetti over everything. Hi, I'm Urban Bohemian, aka Brian, a variety streamer here, and I have lots of opinions about tech stuff, and I love going down Google holes, rabbit holes. Different kind of thing. Google rabbit holes about stuff. So yes, hi, welcome. Hi. Glad to be here.
All right, let's see who has said hi in chat. Esoterica, hello. Puddleglum, hi. Rex, hello. Robo, hello. Welcome on in. I'm doing a fun thing with Robo in a couple weeks. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. But first, we're going to talk about being present in your online presence.
I did not approve that pun. I did not approve that one. That was not.
It is thanks to Urban Bohemian we have this topic, as they suggested it, and I'm like, that's a good idea. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about.
So I've never done one of those PowerPoint parties where everybody brings like a presentation and something that they're passionate about, but it is the worst thing ever to ask me for like details and links and sources, because I have filled the Notion with more detail than we need and probably more detail than we'll cover today. But we're going to talk about various options for you to have a web presence that is more focused on you and not focused on being on a social media platform under the control of somebody else. Admittedly, many of these are on platforms that you don't have complete control over, but it's a little bit better than the current slate of millionaires that has weird control over social media. And a lot of these sites will allow you to create free websites, free one-pagers, link trees, media kits, things like that. And the other side of this that we're not going to cover today, it's been covered a few times. I believe we've talked about it before, is getting your own like online top-level domain site name. That's a different topic entirely, which you can partner with these sites, but you should do your own research and pricing and see what's best for you on that. We're not going to talk about how to get your own domain name, because we don't have like 8 hours. So no. I think he's going to throw me out at 2, honestly. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like
yeah. All right. So we basically want to cover websites, link in bio sites, and newsletters. And then we have a bunch of other stuff to talk about besides that.
Yeah, we'll be going fast.
Yeah. So do we want to link our inspiration here and talk about?
Yeah. So the inspiration for this, I follow Greg Pak, who is a comics writer on, he's on Blue Sky now, and he had a thread essentially advising people, hey, it's time to get your own website. It's time to make a weird website, make it like it's 1990, do something weird, go MySpace fully on it, whatever you want. But it's time to do that and to think about it, because when other sites control your content, that means your content can go away. But if you're in control of it, you can put whatever you want online and say whatever you need to say. So he posted this on Blue Sky, and then he wrote a whole post about it. And since then, I believe he's created multiple top level domain. He's got like gregpack.com, .net, like it's kind of ridiculous. He leaned all the way into it. And it kind of made me remember, because this year I said I would use my blog more at urbanbohemian.com. And I was like, why am I not doing that more? And then I was like, well, everyone should be able, even if you just have a, like, DC has dclasair.com that goes to his doris.to, which we are going to discuss later. At least it's something that he controls. He knows what's there. He has like, that's something that you can have yourself. And I think it's very important if you're thinking about your brand as a creator or just any kind of artist, person online, something. It's just I would say in 2025 it's good sense.
Excellent. All right. Let's start with websites then. We have 3 we're going to talk about, starting with ghost.org.
Yes. Ghost.org technically I believe would qualify for all 3 of these categories because it's sort of everything. The main thing right now is ghost.org is being seen as the Substack alternative. But they also provide, you can run your own website. You can do everything from this one. You can get users to sign up. You can have a newsletter. You can publish private content. You can do like payments and supports through it. And like a lot of these services we're going to talk about, it does start at a free tier. And I believe, let's say, I wrote this down. Their tier is if you have less than 500 members, which is like DC points out, they have a weird way of saying like signups, members, etc. But they are currently like the new hotness. So you see a lot of people switching over to Ghost for their newsletter. I've not seen a lot of people use it for just a plain website, like a one-pager website, but I have seen articles on it. So Ghost is an option if you're looking to sort of do everything in one. I believe Ghost is kind of at the top of the list right now.
Yeah, and it looks good. And I do want to cover, we touched on it briefly, these websites we're going to go over mention audience and members, and sometimes interchangeably, and there doesn't seem to be one standard definition that's accepted everywhere. They seem to just use them freely, and so you got to do research in what does that mean to this particular company. And for me, that's a bit of a block there because it's extra work too.
Yeah. Most of them will mean when they say member or audience, especially for the sites that have newsletters or sending things out, because that is a cost to them. That's what they usually mean, is anyone who is signed up and receiving emails from you. For a lot of these sites, that's what they count as a member. So anytime somebody's gone to your subscribe link and that's it, that's what starts their count. But yeah, dig down because surprise costs are still a thing.
Yeah, so take a look at that. And also, it's useful to look at the pricing on all of these because as you grow, you don't want that number to sneak up on you. Like if you get that lightning in the bottle moment, you don't want to suddenly be not having the ability to send things out or paying a lot more than what you already were, because that price does jump quite a bit in each tier on all these sites. Yeah. So take a look at that and keep that in the back of your mind. And now you may be good with, an audience of say 500 for years on end too. That might be great for you. But just keep in mind that how the costs go up, and if it goes up, can I still afford this type thing per month?
Yeah. Let me double check because. Okay. Yeah. Ghost is not free at all. There are some that we'll talk about that have free tiers, and I realize Ghost does not have a free tier. So they start at $9 a month, billed annually. So sometimes you save money for whatever. And that is, so I would say that if you currently have a Substack and you are looking to move, we'll talk about why you might want to move from Substack later on. If you want to move away from Substack, Ghost is probably a really good bet for you because you're probably already fronting some sort of cost to maintain Substack. So Ghost would be a good lateral move And I believe that they also have a means to import your subscribers from one place to another. So it's also nice.
Awesome. All right, let's go into, and you have a WordPress blog. We're going to talk about WordPress.
I do. So WordPress was like the standard of blogging when do you remember blogging? Do you remember when we actually referred to people as
Yeah.
bloggers and we said, I'm reading your blog and I'm writing a blog? They were kind of one of the quick standards. They arose out of the ashes of LiveJournal because everybody wanted somewhere to put their stuff. And so they have two versions. One is WordPress.com. Anybody can go there, get a free it's like Tumblr. You can go there, get a free WordPress.com site. It's going to be like yourhandle.wordpress.com, and you're good to go. You can also point your domain to it at some point. And there's also WordPress.org, which is for people who have self-hosted. So if you already have a domain, chances are one of the hosting packages they have is that they will host a WordPress site for you. It runs on a SQL database, and you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about those words I just said. Just they'll say, "Hey, we'll run WordPress for you." My current host has a one-click install, so all I do is say, "I'd like a new WordPress site," and I click the button, and it installs everything for me. Both of them are the same. If you've used any sort of WYSIWYG, what you see was what you get editor. You're very familiar with how WordPress works. I pretty much think it's one of the easiest and most flexible things to use. If, I'm not worried about a subscriber, newsletter, payment thing. I just have 500 words sitting in my head that I don't want to break into 18 posts on Blue Sky. So I can just write a nice post and be done. People are commenting on it, which is nice. That was the other thing back in the heyday of blogs, is people would comment on your blog and you'd comment back. And now everyone uses social media. And wait, the girl from the grandma meme is coming to take me to bed. So but yeah, WordPress is good. It's flexible. It is easy to use, and there are tons and tons of communities out there that if you're not sure what to do in WordPress, you will be able to find the answer very easily.
All right. And how long have you been using WordPress for? How long?
That's it's a long time.
Long time. Okay.
Very long time.
We don't talk about that. Okay.
It's 20 year. No, wait. What year is it?
I have no idea anymore.
It's been a long time. I've been using it for, I think, at least a decade or two. So
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I am of the old school of the internet. So yeah. But yeah, it's been a while, and yeah, it was one of the first places I think that a lot of people, when we started breaking out of the easy sites, we started going to Tumblr or WordPress, and I feel like that was one of the things. So yeah, but I've had it for a while, and it doesn't always run perfectly. Like sometimes, like it's, after you have, and I have thousands of posts in there, it tends to run like an older car or the Millennium Falcon, but it still works.
Excellent. All right. And OmnisX, thank you for the follow. Good to see you, by the way. Hi. And going back to Robo's comment, if you get a domain, does that mean you're a Dark Lord? Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, we got to get .sith as like a top level domain. That way you could be robo.sith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And to kind of wrap up our website thing, we have a fun one to talk about that we've seen. It's called NeoCities. This name may seem familiar-ish because that's their point.
NeoCities is adorable. It has one of the simplest signups I've ever seen. It's like signing up for, I refer to Tumblr a lot because I realized Tumblr did not make this list, and it should have. And so that's my homage to say, like, you know what? If you're on Tumblr, you could probably do all this anyway. But it's a very simple sign up. You put your username in there, put some like things that you like, and then you're able to, if you understand HTML, which if you don't, you definitely should, You understand command line. It does have support for domains. It has RSS feeds. Though some of those services do start at a cost of $5 a month. But yeah, if you just want a simple, plain HTML website, you can go back and look up how MySpace did the custom cursors, and you can do that too. Like NeoCities is perfect, and it's fast and easy.
Yeah. It's really adorable. Like some of the sites they have, if you want a nostalgia trip, just look at what people have done on the website. And hey,
Yeah.
Chris, yeah. All right. Any other thoughts on websites before we move on?
Get one.
Get one. Do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thought I would say is, because of what we're about to discuss next, which is link in bio sites and email newsletters, decide if, like running a website is like, it's another thing you have to do. So if you are at the end of your creator wits and you're like, I don't want to do one more thing, okay, that's totally understandable. It's just this one more thing that you're going to do puts your content and your work and your art more under your control on the internet versus somebody else's. So that's why I would say strongly consider, if you're spilling out like massive threads on Blue Sky every other month about some topic, put that down on a blog. That way you can put your name on it. People can refer to it on Google. Because right now, Blue Sky posts aren't easily searchable on Google, but regular websites are. So, yeah.
All right. Next, we have link in bio sites, starting with the one I use. So I have many words on it. Doris.to, which is still a new site. I am an affiliate for them. So, caveat there. I'm just going to plug it here.
Go for it.
You use my affiliate code, sign up for Doris Pro, use my discount code, get 30% off for 3 months.
And yours is currently linked to dclasair.com, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And I have seen that you started with what we all think of. You started with the one pager with the buttons for your stuff. They even have some cooler stuff that links to APIs. So if you're live, you can kind of do a drop down. But you recently started adding blog posts, right?
Yeah. They recently added blog posts, and I still have one in the wings that I've been slowly writing over a month or maybe longer.
Welcome to the world of writing. Welcome to the world of blogging.
Talk about that. But yeah, there are a few posts up there concerning audio stuff. So if you want to check that out. But yeah, they have this interesting blogging platform. They have link shortening, so now all my Notion links for all my templates are through them, or through their link shortening service. And they still consider themselves in a beta. They've been out maybe a year. And I really like them. I did for a while have BioLink, and I had Linktree before that. And
I forgot about BioLink. Yeah.
Yeah, and the BioLink just wasn't getting out services fast enough. It was like promises, and then you wait a year and didn't really hear anything from them, and their social media presence was always low. They weren't really sure what was going on with them, and but then Doris comes along and says, hey, we offer all this stuff for free that you have to pay for on other stuff. And then we even have some extra stuff if you pay us, I think $3.99 is the low tier. And then you can do brand accounts. And if you want to do branding accounts, you can do more. But I really like it. I like what they're thinking. And I've needed help. I've gone to their Discord. And that, someone's always there to help you out. They are based in Ireland, so keep that in mind of when you're asking for help. So,
or no, they're awake. They're awake.
They're awake. Yeah, one guy's in Ireland. I think the other one's in Australia. So there's like 6 people on the team in total. And so I've really liked them. I've even had to learn a little bit of CSS because they have a CSS block, and so a little bit of coding to customize some of the things on there. And
This is my new
right.
plan is everyone's going to learn HTML and CSS. That's going to be my new plan.
And I just find this really handy. I don't want to have a huge website to worry about. Um, and so just having links and it's easy to put on my phone if I'm at a convention or something, just like go here or look at this, or here's my, what do you call those, QR codes. I could just show you a QR code and, right on my phone, go just scan this and go there. And that's all my stuff. And it let me have a little email button right at the top. So if you need to contact me, it's, one button and it opens up an email, however you have it set up on your system. Yeah. And I really like it. They have more to come, obviously. Like I said, they still consider themselves in beta, so they are a fairly young-ish program. But yeah, if you want to see what they're doing, just look at my stuff and you can see some of the possibilities there.
And they seem to be moving, like, they are young, but their development has a really good pace to it. They're never, it seems like they're never doing more than they know that they're able to. I know you've asked questions about it and they've said, oh, that's on the way. And I feel like they're, for something that's free to use, it's, again, if you're looking for like a link in bio or a one-page site, I feel Doris is a really good option. And also, yeah, they're small, they're young, it's a small team, so you kind of know the people there are a little more passionate about it. Like I follow another one of the coders on Twitch, and sometimes he'll talk about it, sometimes not, but you can tell, like, yeah, like these are the people who the coding problems like keep them awake at night. So yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. And next up is Linktree, kind of the big one over
Yeah,
everything.
they're the ones most people think about. And they sort of set the standard for other one pagers, for other link in bios, for other, like, they set the standard for that. And I include them because, yeah, someone's going to think about Linktree. The other one I include next is like these are the two that I always think about when I'm like, hey, I want a one page thing. And again, with Linktree, it's unlimited links. If you want customization, then you'll have to pay. I think theirs starts at $4 a month. And you can get analytics and things like that, which is like, sometimes you want to know when your links are being clicked. That almost came out very badly, but you want to know when your links are being clicked. So they offer analytics as well. I honestly feel like, as much as I like having a media kit, I feel like the analytics, because everybody's hiding their API and their stats, is getting a little less important to brands when they're reaching out. Like, it's nice to know the numbers, but we can never get exact numbers. So yeah. Finite Singularity in chat says, didn't Linktree just buy? Unfortunately, we have links blocked. So you'll have to be circumspect about what you mean. And oh, Bento. I do remember hearing about Bento. Oh, okay, yes. I also remember hearing about Bento. So, and Linktree has acquired them. So let me get there we go. I have the power for links because DC, for whatever reason, trusts me. So there you are. Bento is also cute and flexible. I've seen other people use it in the past. And so that'll be like, that's a bonus. So yeah, bento.me is also another option, and Linktree just purchased them. So good to know, because they are cute, as you would expect from something named Bento. And now I just want to watch a nice little slice of life anime, and it's fine.
And Finite Singularity, hello, thank you for coming in. Folks, if you want to know part of what runs my OBS, Finite Singularity is the person who has coded a lot of that, and should definitely give a follow. They're really smart on this stuff.
Some of the for somebody who is not, quote unquote, an entertainment streamer, some of the best on stream redeems and effects I've ever seen. So yeah.
Let me give you a shout out. You want to move on to card while I'm busy trying to type the word shout out correctly?
Sure. So we talked about Linktree. Card is the next up, and it's basically Linktree. It's I think a lot of people were using it not just for their links, but what I saw more people using Card for is you wanted a one page site with a button that is a call to action. So I was seeing a lot more charity using this, a lot more mutual aid funds using Card, but I was able to. I remember I created a card, and honestly, I looked at how Card did their CSS, and that's what I stole to make the link in bios page on my own site. So learn CSS, kids, do it. But yeah, it's another one. It's responsive, so it is nice. Their main thing is that it's responsive, but most of the sites are fully responsive, which just means that they're nice on big screens and they're nice on small devices. And Card has, I think they have a little bit of a slicker look, like when it comes to the way that they do their shadow behind their CSS buttons kind of thing. But yeah. And again, it's free. And if you want to start doing anything like pointing your own domain to it or getting more than one page, which why would you go to a one page site service to get more than one page? It's weird, but you do you. Those plans start at like $9 a year. So in the grand scheme of things, like it's also the most cost effective, but it's going to be the least flexible when it comes to like blogging and things like that.
Rex, that pun. I put my link in my BIOS. Isn't that a security risk? Excellent.
You know. Okay.
Yeah.
Like he's like this in every chat, so I don't know why I'm surprised. That's fine. Oh my goodness. So yeah, in terms of link in bio, if all you're wanting is, hey, actually I'll pull it up on my phone because I know DC can do the same, but I also suggest if you have a link in bio site to put on it your, there we go. Oh, mine's got my picture because I can't do that thing. But I've got my little buttons for my, come here for my stuff. And then yeah, at the bottom, I can just show immediately the QR code. I have ads on my site. I'm going to take them off because they annoy me. But I can be at a con, I can say here, because I feel like people will like most people actually like the QR code. I love making business cards. I do not like the tappy business card, the NFC. I don't like anybody like tapping my phone to add something to it. I'm not a fan of it. But I know that if you're all of a sudden you forgot to bring cards to something, you can quickly make a QR code and you're done.
All right. Wow. We're barreling through all this.
I told DC I can talk about these things at length, or I can talk about them just a little tiny bit. Because I could go on and on about this, but I won't.
Oh, sure. We got time. So, all right. Next up, and we have kind of a big caveat thing here at the beginning of it, is email newsletters. And a lot of people were using Substack, and why you should probably go away from Substack. In fact, why you should definitely go away from Substack.
I'll put the link in chat, and because we are, let's see here. Here's a link in chat, and I know that you're broadcasting on multiple services, some of which may demonetize if I say certain words or phrases. So I'm going to be really careful about this. Substack decided, the co-founder said that the platform would not monitor, remove, or demonetize certain newsletters that promote certain ideologies, some of which I feel are absolutely harmful and not needed and put us in a really bad place to where we are. But it's one of those things where they are, quote unquote, committed to upholding and protecting freedom of expression, even when it hurts. And okay, so sometimes the only way to let someone know that what they're doing isn't the right way is to make it hurt and to take your money elsewhere. So we talked about Ghost earlier, which is a newsletter site and a Substack alternative. And um, let's see, two others that I've seen. I don't have a newsletter. I don't feel like I'm interesting enough to have a newsletter. Like what am I going to write about? I got up, I went to work. What do people with newsletters? What do y'all put out? Like anyone watching this later, reply to this video. So what do you put in your newsletter? Because I'm curious now. Okay. No idea. But if you just want an email newsletter, if you're just like, hey, I'm doing weekly updates, monthly updates, that kind of thing, because maybe you don't, like, you're not like me, you don't want to have a blog that you pop in anytime. You've gotten your, if you're a streamer, you've gotten your viewers used to having a little bit more of a peek behind the curtain, so you want to give them monthly updates. Maybe if you are a cosplayer, you want to do updates of, hey, here's the places that I visited this last month, kind of thing. Those are great reasons to have it. And two that we looked at, one is Button Down. And it's your basic email newsletter list. And here's where what DC mentioned earlier, it is free for your first 100 subscribers. I looked at Button Down. They consider a subscriber anybody who has signed up. So that's where you kind of have to make sure that if you're ready for this to scale, you can't tell a bunch of people, hey, also give this out to other people so they can sign up for my newsletter, because once you hit 100, then you'll need to start paying after that. And then you have to decide if it's worth it or not.
Yeah, and it does look like a really nice site from what they have. A lot of options. But yeah, just again, gonna repeat the theme. Keep in mind scaling and things like that when you're going through all of these.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Let's see. I think
Beehive is the other one we have.
Pardon me. Yes, Beehive, and this is the one that Space Valkyries uses. So I asked them how they liked it. They enjoy it. It does have some AI involved in the posts, but those are not so much they'll write a post for you, but they do have like, oh, here's a writing prompt in case you're not sure what to send out. They all have the familiar WYSIWYG editors that we're used to. And Beehive, I think, is the more popular option because it's free for like 2,500 subscribers, which I can't even imagine getting that many email addresses on a list. So
Yeah.
So yeah, if you are, again, like if this and email newsletters are, I always think about email newsletters like in the Gen X times when families used to send out holiday newsletters. Like you wouldn't hear from your family friends except once a year, and they would send out on paper this, long newsletter. They'd probably have a picture they took in it, or they'd photocopy them, so you got a really bad photocopy of the picture. That's what I always feel like newsletters are like. And it's really just a, hey, here's what's been going on with me, which even that sentence is a very specific type of artist or creator. And that is somebody who is, they're very busy, they're constantly hustling. So it's easier for them to send out a newsletter of what they're doing versus a lot of us, you see us on stream all the time. So that's how you know what we're doing. But, in Space Valkyrie's case, they're also a writer. So they do talk about their writing efforts on stream, but also when they get published, they can now send out an update to their newsletter. So like, you're now aware, here's a link to go buy my book kind of thing. So yeah.
Yeah, I've subscribed to a newsletter, and I'll get to Finite's thing. It's like, I subscribe to a newsletter of a comic book colorist that has done a lot of work for the Critical Role comic and Dark Horse and things like that. And she was an artist on one of the shows I did as well, and drew all the character art. And so it's a handy way for me to keep up with what she's doing in the comics world and go, oh, I should check that out, and it's once a month, and it's kind of fantastic. Plus, it's someone I cared to see their work, and and get a little preview of what they're doing. So it's a way for me to keep up with them in a sense.
And I kind of like that from the perspective of the audience for a newsletter, because that means that even though we discussed link trees and link in bio sites, that means that they don't have to worry about where to find you on all these platforms. They don't have to follow you in 6 different places to keep up with what you're doing. All they have to do is be subscribed to your email newsletter, and they may not get it as in real time as they would if they were following you on social media, but at the very least they can say, "Oh, I wonder where they've been. I wonder what they're up to." And if you use it correctly, then you can say, "I'm also, like I've been to this convention, but also I'm going to be at this convention." So maybe there's opportunities for that. Which feels, again, it's more targeted and directed. You know that people are seeing it who want to get the information, versus any schlub on the internet who just happens to find your Blue Sky page.
Yeah, don't encourage schlubs is the basic principle here.
Yeah, I have worse words. Schlub is the nicest one that I immediately came up with. I have way worse words. I actually remember when I was in a recent Finance Singularity stream, he talked about like not posting plugin updates on Twitter, and it is it social media has always been a way to keep up with your whoever you like, whoever you follow, your industry, your creator, etc. But at some point, what happens when, like for me, I guess what happens when like Beyonce decides she doesn't want to use Twitter? The beehive will collapse. Except she has a newsletter. She's on all these like she has a newsletter that's already doing all of that work. So when they finally say, "You know what? I've just kind of had it with the way this platform runs their business and I'm out of here." You're already good.
Yeah. All right. We have a bonus round for this segment, but before we get into that, any other thoughts of websites, link in bio sites, emails, something you just thought of while we were talking?
No, except that I would say that there are a lot of other options. If you're watching this live, if you watch this later, if you watch this later on YouTube, leave in the comments, like if you have a suggestion for something. Otherwise, catch either of us on Blue Sky. I'm urbanbohemian.com. He is dclasair.bsky. No. How do they
The long
do the
Blue
links?
Sky thing? Just type in DC Lasair, you'll find me.
Just DC Lasair, yeah, that one.
Or go to dclasair.com, and there's a link in on my link in bio site that leads you to the Blue Sky.
See, right there. There it is, dclasair.bsky.social, because there it is. Like, we gotta work on that. So yeah, if you have other ideas, because I could have done a lot more research, but I knew that I would overwhelm. Like I had like a whole long Google document that I then shortened into what's in here. So I'm probably going to make like a big presentation after this is done. But these are not the only options. These are just some that we recommend. And I think the main message out of all of this is divest yourself from these platforms, because let's see, how's the best way to put this? Social media thrived from user-generated content. That's the only way that any of these sites became so popular. They also create an emotional feedback loop that all we want to do is continue to feed continue to feed user-generated content into it and stick around, because by now all of our friends are also there. However, a lot of what we share on these sites are external links to external websites. And admittedly, they do get suppressed, but if I see my friend post one when I go to their page, I'm going to go to it. So you're now just saying, well, I just want to be one of those other links that get shared. And also, yeah, if you have a, your username.com or username something email address or website out there, it's just cool. You've got your own little piece of the internet out there. Admittedly, it's still, hosted by this and the company and that, but I feel like web hosting companies thus far have been a lot more reliable than random social media tech billionaires who decide to change things on the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
Come for the tech
And
stuff, stay for the rant. Okay.
yeah.
Like,
And if I wanted to change topics, we would totally get into the rant stuff. If I wanted to change categories, I mean. But that's not usually the content I have because I think we both have rants, and this would be a much longer show on multiple things. So,
truly. But yeah, it's something to consider. I would say it's something to consider having something else out there where people can find you. Because at any given moment, the one site you rely on for all of your fun, like the one site you consider at the bottom of your funnel, may go away. And, it's nice to have other options.
yeah. And that kind of ties into our bonus round. Like if yours went away, I still have a Patreon and a Ko-Fi, which we'll talk about in a second here. And you can, as Herb said here, you can already use them as a blog or newsletter and make posts public or restricted. They're very handy.
I think people started to identify Patreon a little bit too quickly with I'm paying an artist an amount per month to support them, get sneak peeks of their art, get previews, get things like that. But Patreon, if you have a Patreon or you have a Ko-Fi, I think no, coffee actually is how they actually do say coffee. Um, you can already do these things. You can already send out updates and newsletters, and you can make those posts public and or private. So you may already be able to do a lot of what we're talking about when it comes to a newsletter or a blog. So that's another. Basically, that's just one more tool in your arsenal. And also, there are some sites that are primarily known for adult content. Those sites also support the exact same types of outreach to subscribers, followers, and etc. So it is easy to think that a personally produced content site is only for one type of adult content. However, I have read articles and there are more than a few people who actually use them to primarily produce non-adult content, which is far more popular on the platform than anybody would expect. So it's certainly possible, but it's not for everybody.
All right. Hello, Cypher. Welcome on in. Good to see you. Okay. We can started my only games for people who want to watch an old man cuss at a game.
It's like only games, only coding,
Only coding.
like
Yeah. Do it. Start those things. I would like to join your thing. So make them so I can join your things.
I would like to know more. Yes.
Yes. Please send pamphlets.
People don't send pamphlets anymore. That's more paper. Do that. I know. I hate to say it, but we actually got through that in the amount of time that I was anticipating.
Yeah, me too.
I was bravely like, are we gonna take no. I'm gonna keep this locked to a tight I shouldn't say that after I just talked about adult sites, but no, we managed to keep it down because we could talk about this all day. There are tons and tons of options out there, but the primary message is consider having someplace else on the internet that is not locked down to a popular social media site to host your stuff.
Yeah. Good. And so we'll go on break here in just a minute or so. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of the tech things because, boy, this week just decided to spring the things on in.
So many.
And so there's a lot to talk about. And then we'll do TTRPG stuff like usual and kind of wind down our weekend with whatever you want. If you have any questions or any other comments on what we just talked about, please post them in chat. And even though we've kind of moved on from the topic, we'll still respond to them. So please keep going, whatever thoughts you have. It's been great. And so we'll take a break and be back. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking around with us and through that break. Anna, we're going to have some kitty time.
I was going to say, I saw the tail like kind of peeking up around the chair.
For those that are new here, this is my kitty, Hannah. She will give us a few moments of her time graciously.
Has she ever given you like a surprisingly long amount of cuddle time during a stream?
Not really, no. I think just once it was like almost a minute, which is... She really likes being held because she's purring very loudly, but and she'll keep purring, but eventually she just wants to get down, even though she really likes it, so...
Oh, see, this feels like a longer than usual time. oh, wait. Okay, never mind. I take it back.
You want to get down, do you? Are you sure? Yeah? Okay.
It's like do you see the back leg kind of pushing off like, yeah. Oh, come on. That's she's so pretty. And then she's gonna eat the green screen, isn't she?
Oh, she's gonna probably eat the green screen, yeah. We go over this. Oh, you're not even near the green screen. Okay. Good job, Katie.
Wow.
And Vancouver by night, hello?
Yeah. Side note for Elgato, your green screens are apparently fascinating to cats. So.
Yeah. Nibbles on a corner sometimes. I stop her, but I'm trying not to put holes in the green screen.
Yeah.
But it's a thing, you know. But yes, a cat tax and Urban Bohemian and DC Lasair on the same stream. I know, right? It's amazing.
Is that all we actually have to do to get viewers? Like, you just like sit here with the cat and we just talk about nothing? Like, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
like,
I'm good. And for those just joining us, anytime I'm leaning over like this, it's because the cat's here and she demands pets. Otherwise, she meows very loudly at me.
Which you probably can't. I don't think we've ever heard Hannah meow because your audio settings are really good. I was on a call, a session 0 recently, and we were kind of getting into, like, we were trying to basically get our groove with each other, and we were getting close to the end, and that's when the DM's Maine Coon decided like that was the time for attention. So she's trying to talk to us and we just hear, and I'm like, okay, we just, you know what? Just give the cat some attention. It's fine. We all are fixated on your cat on Zoom anyway. So just go ahead.
Just go ahead. All right. How you doing? Do I need to help you up? All right. So if you want to continue on, I need to go assist the cat because that's also
fine.
Part of our deal is I have to get up and go help the cat.
But we're in hour 2 of today's Tech Friday, which is also, put the confetti on. Oh, yeah. Push the button. Do it. The worst. Around now. We're in hour 2 of Tech Friday, which is the 2-year Tech Friday, maybe? Always felt like there was a lot of maybe to it. Hey, and also welcome on in, Mermaid Jeans. Welcome on in. Thank you for the raid. Dark Squall, Mermaid Jeans, hello. But earlier from the start, we were talking about how to have your online presence, and we have covered a few options to create websites, a few options for link in bio, for one pager, for media kit kind of thing, and some email newsletters, especially email newsletters that are not Substack. That is, there is a migration for most people away from Substack right now, and Ghost is the most likely target. Ghost also can sort of be a multi-tool because Ghost can also do website, it can do newsletter, it can do one pager, so it can do all of those things. It is not free, however. So we've covered some options that are free and some options that have price tiers at certain levels of support. And those will be up. Those links will be up in DC's Discord. Every Tech Friday gets the links posted, and when the video is edited, we'll put those in the description. And I really am like tempted to do like a whole PowerPoint style presentation of the ones we talked about just to make it a lot easier for people, because I haven't played with PowerPoint in a long time. And well, I guess Google Sheets, Slides, or Canva or whatever. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing is you could probably also create a public Google document, a public Canva link that has the same, like Canva has media kit templates. You could actually just link directly to a Canva link. They can even make a QR code for you to do so. And you can make a Canva design public. I've been to restaurants that have their menus up on Canva, and I'll be honest, it doesn't work as well as you think it might, but they're up there. It's not good. But it does work. Like, it gets there. It's just no, it's not good.
All right, Mermaid Jeans, thank you for the raid. I was taking care of my cat, but welcome on in, everybody. JD Lady, hello. If you are new here, hi, I'm DC. This is my channel. I know, right? Who knew that? And today, as always on Fridays, is Tech Friday. We are on quite possibly the second anniversary of Tech Friday. So yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, probably.
Is it?
Maybe.
Okay.
And I have a fantastic guest over there in Urban Bohemian.
Hey, it's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi, I'm Urban Bohemian. If you don't know who I am, you should. I'm amazing. Or I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm kind of delightful. Just go to urbanbohemian.com. There you go.
Go to urbanbohemian.com. It's your best place to find all the stuff Urban Bohemian.
Finite, I did actually talk about Notion. I wrote I made a page on my WordPress blog that has a bunch of links to charity, and then I wrote a post about it. And I also suggested using Notion for building up sites and pages as well, because Notion can be public. So any public space that's out there, I've seen a lot of independent video games, the small devs, they use Notion for their media and press kit, and it works really well. So Notion is another. Anything that's out there, it's nicer when it's a little more associated with your branding, but anything that's out there can just be a place on the web to get your message out. What I do not know is I don't know how searchable a lot of these sites are. So I'm not sure, like, if I made a Notion media kit, if it would be super searchable or not, but that's because I have not done that research yet.
Yeah, and Notion changed some of that so it was easier to find things and make it a better website experience. A few months back, I'd have to go back and see what it all was, but they did that. And so it used to be you would have to get another site and have it, talk to Notion, and that other site would serve for your website navigation and everything. But I think now Notion has taken some of that and just gone, no, you can do it all here, so you don't need this other thing as well.
Oh, fantastic.
Check it out. I might be steering you a little wrong on that, but they definitely did improve the tools if you're looking at using them for a website.
And because it's Notion, if you don't know what you're doing, chances are somebody out there already has and has a template that is ready for you to use. I'm a fan. I love templates. I'm a huge fan of templates because I would say 75% of the time I don't know what I'm doing. So it's just easier.
Yeah, I have Notion templates. It's great.
Push the button for your templates, DC.
Push the button. Pushing the button.
There it is.
So if you are into TTRPGs production and stuff like show production, actual play production and things like that, I do have, if you go to that second link, I'll take you through pre-production to post-production. and you can sign up for a free Notion account. Just duplicate this into your own Notion, and you can do whatever you want with it. So if you need a separate field I haven't included, feel free to add, but that should serve you. The top link is just a bunch of different things for TTRPGs. I give you kind of a DM screen-ish thing, a player's journal, and a bunch of other tools. So check both those out. All right. Let's get into the second half here.
Alrighty.
And talking about tech things, because, oh boy, this week came up and...
He's never going to ask me to be a guest on this again because I was feral in the Notion. I'm like, oh wait, this happened. Oh wait, this happened. Oh wait. I guess the first one is a really good segue to what we've been talking about, which is social media platforms. There are now a lot of them. There are more to keep up with. And the people, Icon Factory, which many people may know that name from going way, way back because they made the best Twitter client back in the day, which was Twitterific, which the actual Twitter client stole a lot of stuff from. They've made a new app called Tapestry. And it's sort of a cross between being able to read social media sites and also newsreader, so RSS feeds. I love an RSS feed. They used to be the backbone of the internet. I don't know what happened. We lost web rings. We used to be a society. All, rant, and that's it. It is currently available to try out. I have seen some reviews on the positive. I've seen some reviews on the negative, so I suspect that it's in its baby steps in terms of really people getting used to it. But it's an option if you've been looking for something beyond just a single app, like a single Blue Sky app or a single whatever app. I'm realizing I don't want to mention any of the other like social media platforms, but you know which ones they are. So yeah. You're muted to me. Are you muted to them?
Sorry. Yeah, there we go.
Hey,
I can hit buttons. Tapestry does look really nice. It is iOS only right now.
Yeah. So suck it.
Yeah. People like me with Androids.
I'm mean. I know DC. I know DC doesn't use iOS, so it's awful because I have other apps that I could talk about. Some people have started to develop a TikTok like video app for Blue Sky. You know what? There's a lot of going on out there, which I did not include in this because we do not have all day. But yeah, it's just saying that if you miss the days, okay, so I'm going to say something. Some people are going to remember this. Some people aren't. But if you remember the days of Trillium, yeah, see, that is the kind of thing that I would love from one app, is to be able to keep up on my things. The only downside I would say to an app like this is you are giving one app your details for all of your social media. So you're, be sure that this is something that you want to do. But I remember having a multi-message app reader and it was so nice. So yeah. Trillium was so good.
Yeah.
Even had ICQ. Like, who remembers their ICQ number?
Right.
588-7768.
Wow. I don't even remember mine.
Yeah, I'm old.
I still have the little notification noise goes off in my head all the time.
I would love like typing and it would do the typewriter noise because apparently, back then people still knew what typewriters were. So it was great.
So there used to be this keyboard that was larger and it came with a ribbon and that had ink on it. And these little keys would hammer into the ribbon and produce an image on paper.
You know the fountain pen YouTube videos that you love, like that use the glass, so they have ASMR with like the glass fountain pen nibs. Okay, imagine that, but also imagine that you had a printing press at the same time. And but not the Gutenberg style. You don't have to put them, but can you imagine I because I watch a lot of Murder She Wrote, and of course, in the
Mm-hmm.
earlier seasons, she always has a typewriter,
Mm-hmm.
and then later on, she upgrades to a word processor. But I wonder, people watching older shows or shows that are set in period pieces, and they see like typewriters. Does anybody look at that and be like, they made that up for this, right? That's not real. That's not a real thing. Yeah, it is.
All right.
I apologize. I got off topic.
we do rabbit holes here eventually, but since typewriter is a technology and moving on,
Mm,
yeah, it's tech.
yeah.
Qualifies.
So speaking of something that if you had it in the room with you, you wouldn't necessarily you wouldn't hear while using this. Um, we did talk about it being a week of like a bunch of tech stuff, and even what we're covering isn't everything. But Elgato had an announcement.
Yes,
An update.
Yeah, Wavelink 2.0 is out, and wow, did they throw down the gauntlet here with it? This was in beta before, so you may have seen a previous Tech Friday where I talked briefly about the beta of this, but now it's out and available, and you can assign apps to a channel right in Wavelink. You don't have to go through the ridiculous Windows menu anymore.
Windows settings and yeah,
and
it's
you
very
can
nice.
save the profile. So if you think something's lost or not right, just reload your profile. Now, there's also other things. Like I said, you can also take what the settings that you made, excuse me, in Wavelink and drag it, if you have a Stream Deck, right onto the Stream Deck, and it'll populate the volume sliders for you.
It's so like there already have been like volume mixer screens for Stream Deck, and there already is something, but this is so smooth. There is like it's just a one click to say, yeah, put all my stuff here. And whether you have all buttons or whether you have buttons and knobs, it gives you, I like I like the Stream Deck Plus because it also has like the touch sensitive strip for doing stuff. But if you're somebody who, like, I don't have the attention span to control all of my audio that precisely while I'm on stream, but if you're able to do that, you have it all in front of you. You have the buttons that do the levels up and down. You can do the slide. You can do the knobs to your specific, um, what do you, the whatever you call the up and downy number for
The levels,
sound.
decibels.
Sure, those, yes, levels. You can adjust your levels, but everything that you already have set up in Wavelink will immediately be available on your Stream Deck. So it's not like you have to make, because before you would have to make and then readjust each of those on the fly. Now you can do it. You can make it all pretty. It's very nice. I will admit my favorite is being able to instantly add the app that's open to a channel. As a game streamer, I am always having to say, hold on, I got to capture the game, and then I got to capture the game audio. It'd be nice now to go to Wavelink and have the game client up and just click on game and add the current app to the game channel. It would be so nice.
And you can even have a button on your Stream Deck that will capture the top playing whatever and assign it to wherever you said that button should assign things to. So if you open up a new game and it's in focus on your machine and you need the audio, you can just set up a button to hit that and it'll go to the game channel.
Oh, a capture audio button?
Yeah. Well,
golden age. Golden age. just done.
So another thing I want to point out with this is that I talk about Mixline often, and I use Mixline, and I have a Rodecaster Duo, and my setup's different. If you're going to do this with Wavelink, you're going to have to take Mixline out of the equation because Mixline takes over. And so if you want to see the audio take out Mixline out of your equation. But if you don't want to use Elgato, Mixline is another perfect thing. And also, because you're going to probably want different setups for just you and your stream, you'll probably want different profiles that you can switch between on your buttons so that you don't always have to have in your headphones for everything you do, but you can hit a button, change that profile in Wavelink so that it comes through your speakers again.
I do like that. That's something that has been, it's, there have been workarounds for it. Because I will switch between these and just my regular computer speakers all the time. And I'll hop on a call and I haven't done that yet. And I'm like, oh, wait, everybody starts hearing themselves. So I have to like quickly mute it. So yeah, it'll be nice to have that. And I think, they did add a new voice focus, which I'm using. So I'm going to listen back to this later because I'm curious how well it's coming through. However, I will go back to the thing that I like the most, which is the profiles, being able to export them and import them, because the number one thing I always do when it's time to update my Stream Deck software is I save my profile just in case, because it may be easy for some things to get set back up, but for your audio, especially if you've got multiple audio channels, multiple apps, and different types of things, if you can export that, then anytime you see that Wavelink is ready to update or your XLR, you can be like, you know what? I'm good. Let me just export this profile and bring it back in.
Yep. And speaking of voice focus, what that does is the idea behind it is to cancel out background noise and just have your voice come in clear and beautiful. And it does use AI. However, they said Elgato on their live stream has said that the AI voice feature runs locally and none of the data is used to train anything. They don't take any of that data anywhere. Yes, Wavelength connects online, but none of your voice data is sent. So that's a concern, and voice focus can be turned on and off. If that's a concern, just know you don't have to use it, and it's all local to your machine.
I think another thing I noticed is speaking of using the bringing your audio profile from your Wavelength to your Stream Deck, they have made it a little bit easier to have a button. Like I have a button on my Stream Deck that controls the mute on like a capacitive touch mute on my Wave XLR. They've also improved that connection, so it's a lot easier to bring all of the goodness of your audio into your Stream Deck. I will say, for those of you out there like me who have your Stream Deck the way you like it, you're going to have to get used to some new screens. So you can't go on muscle memory for a few days, but otherwise, yeah, it's really nice.
Zero, thank you for the raid, and thanks for bringing everyone over. Welcome on in, everyone. Welcome to quite possibly the second anniversary of Tech Friday. I have a confetti button. Yay, confetti! And yeah, thanks for the shout out. And probably.
Like we can really, is it? I think it is. Yeah, it's all right. That's in there. Okay.
And if
talking about tech for 2 years and has had me on multiple times, which will tell you about DC Lasair's judgment right there. Okay.
If somehow you don't know me, I'm DC. Hi. I produce TTRPG actual plays. I do Gunpla on Wednesdays, video games Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Currently playing Ender Magnolia, the sequel to Ender Lily, and it's a lot of fun Metroidvania. So when I come back on Monday, that's what we'll be doing. And Fridays, Tech Friday. We talk about tech. I answer your questions on tech. So if you do have a question regarding streaming or producing a TTRPG actual play, now's the time to ask. I take questions on Fridays, basically. And I have
those are your only office hours? That's it?
Yeah.
just Fridays.
If you join my Ko-fi or my Patreon, you can have one-on-one time with me. But other than that, Fridays is the best time to ask questions. And I have a fantastic guest on, one Urban Bohemian.
Hi. I am Urban Bohemian. I am Brian. I'm a variety streamer here, TTRPG performer, sometimes food streamer, and mostly somebody who futzes around with their OBS setup way more than anyone should.
Yeah, we were just wrapping up our thoughts on the Wavelength 2.0 update, which is an amazing update for all of your audio needs. If you have Stream Deck hardware, that gives you the Wavelength software. So you do need either the Stream Deck Plus or the Wave
The Wave
microphone.
XLR.
Yeah, the
Or
Wave
the Wave
XLR
yeah.
or the Wave mic.
Or the Wave microphone.
And that will give you access to Wavelength for free. And if you haven't had a Stream Deck yet, Stream Deck Plus is a good way to go. Plus, you get the Wavelength software. So, might be an excellent thing. But to be fair, I do have 3 physical Stream Decks and 2 digital Stream Decks. So, you're not going to take away my Stream Decks anytime soon. I have a total of 5 because I have it on iOS and Android. Plus, I have the 3 different versions in front of me.
This is going to be like the Star Trek episode where the stream decks start coming together and form sentience, and they just call DC a bag of mostly water, and that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Like I use other Elgato stuff, but that can all go away. Just never the Stream Deck.
Yeah.
And if you do want to try a Stream Deck, you can download the app on iOS or Android for free, and you get 6 buttons for free. There are plenty of other options out there too. If you want, if Stream Deck isn't quite your jam, there is Touch Portal and a bunch of other things you can look at.
They really have come out, like, they think the understanding for not just for streamers and producers, but just for anyone. I feel like the biggest other use is video editors and people who use Photoshop apps and Affinity and things like that, because being able to put routines in buttons, and even I have not done this yet for DaVinci Resolve, and I totally should, because I can never remember between using 3 different video apps. I never remember what the keyboard shortcut is for anything. So yeah, I think that's also great. So the alternatives that I've seen have a lot more sliders and dials, and they're more modular. They're very cute. It's just, so far, I don't believe any of them has completed or come to market yet. You've talked about a few on previous shows, and I don't believe any of them have yet.
Yeah, I think the Cool Master thing was going to be the nearest one. That may have.
Yeah.
But I think that was still Kickstarter that wrapped up and hasn't gone to ship yet, maybe. I'm not sure on the status on that. But yeah, there are a ton of options. I'm going to recommend a Stream Deck just because it is one of my favorite pieces of hardware. Thus, by having 3 of them. And if you are looking to stream or produce a show, it is very handy to have something like a Stream Deck, because you can switch scenes. You don't have to fiddle around with your mouse moving, because you might be on one screen, suddenly you need to change screens, and you have to move your mouse over, and that might affect something, and you don't have to worry about messing up any of that. You just hit the button to change the scene. And so whether you use a Stream Deck or something else, and you're streaming or producing like I do, it's invaluable to have something like that.
Yeah, I think the producer role sometimes is also just handled by the person who is running the game, and that is another thing where now that we're trying to shake up the format of online streamed TTRPGs, being able to, as the GM, to understand you're in the middle of a scene, and you can then use the Stream Deck to start doing audio effects. You can, if you're talking to one character, you can actually set up like one-on-one with you and the character, and you can immediately when to switch that on the fly. Or again, if you have a producer who's able to do it, you would be able to tell them your cues ahead of time. That's getting into more theater production, but similar things. Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you, Tanya. So the Cool Master Kickstarter has not shipped yet, and there's a link in chat to it if you want to check it out. The Master Hub is it is modular. There's another company doing another modular thing as well. I don't remember their name. If you check out Tech Fridays playlist on my YouTube, you'll eventually find them. Yeah, and they're excellent things to use. And that was a long way to go from the wavelength conversation. But,
I mean, well, we're still talking about, like, Stream Deck, Elgato, similar things. So we can bring it back around. This is like it's not out yet, so this is just sort of a quick look. And I asked, I was watching Finite Singularity, who was in chat, may still be in chat, or may have had an Ollie related incident and had to deal with that. On his stream, he does do development for Elgato. They will be coming out with, they announced it in September on their like dev chat, and it's called OBS Deep Link. And what that's going to allow them to do is, from the Elgato marketplace, there are already stream overlays in there. Like, if you can go in the marketplace now and get stream overlays, but when you get them, like a lot of overlays that you might buy from anywhere, you have to figure out what to put where, which scene, which this. You often get a full-on zip file that has Photoshop or Illustrator files, and you may not know what to do with them. What Deep Link is going to allow developers to do is, directly from the Elgato marketplace, you will be able to, they're actually going to have an OBS plugin, and through this OBS plugin, you'll be able to import what I saw yesterday was a scene collection. So if you go to the timestamp in the Twitch videos where he starts talking about it, he was able to import a scene collection directly into OBS. As he did this, it asked like, okay, well, which one is your camera? Great. Which one's your microphone? And then all of a sudden, the 3 scenes were there, all set up. It packaged in the plugins. It packaged in the images. It was very slick. When it is polished, it's going to be a game changer, I think, because that means that, anyone could say, well, I made this little scene collection, and instead of necessarily selling it on Etsy, which again gets you back into, okay, but I have a zip file now with a bunch of stuff that I got to figure out where it goes. Instead, package it up and export it to the Elgato marketplace, and then you're able to have somebody grab it and import it. I also like this because I don't necessarily have to export it to the marketplace. I can also export it locally and then send it to somebody, and then they can import it. So let's say DC was producing a TTRPG, and the director said, okay, but I want everybody's, like, I need everyone to, like, we're going to do a co-stream, not just a one stream, and I want everyone's overlay to look the same. So what's the best way for me to send the exact scene collection to everyone so they have the exact same this, and this? This would be a great way to do that. You would create the scenes, package it up, export it, they all import it, and it shows up. It was very impressive to see, and I cannot wait until it's out there, because I think some people, it's going to blow your mind to be able to do this from OBS. So I was very excited.
Yeah, it looked amazing. Check out that video. It does show you what plugins they use. It doesn't give you the plugins because of the way OBS works, but they do provide you with download links to each of those plugins that you can then go install yourself if the person had used certain plugins to create the scene.
Right. And when you package up something and export it, it does ask you which plugins are also needed for this. So it will include links to that. And it said that they did include, we're talking about you, Finite, because yeah, you were showcasing the new OBS plugin that's using the deep link. And if you look at the YouTube video that was shared, it's not just about this. It's also, you'll be able to also download, not stingers, but like counters, stickers, lower thirds. A lot of stuff will be customizable. So yeah, I am waiting. I'm waiting for them to drop the, hey, it's ready. Like, hey, grab this. So it was nice to see that preview yesterday. Not yesterday. Was it the day before? I don't know what day it
Time
is,
soup.
so I
Yeah,
I don't know what day it is.
it was
Um,
yesterday. Okay.
it was actually yesterday. Yeah, look at that. So yeah,
Amazing.
if you take a look at that, it was really nice to see, and it was a good walkthrough, and it was a classic walkthrough in that not everything worked the way it was supposed to, but Finite's very good at explaining, okay, here's how it's supposed to work. So that's why I was like, I need information. Give me information because we're going to talk about this tomorrow.
Yeah, and just to compliment Finite some more, there are a few people out there who make incredible OBS plugins and understand the instructions we need. And Finite is one of those people who really
Yes.
gets um, instructions so that everyone can use what they have or what they've made.
Yeah.
And I was looking at this, I'm thinking, and we've talked about the difference between single streaming and streaming on TTRPG because these are slightly different mindsets. And
Yep.
so the ability to have maybe some generic fantasy background or, fit uh, fit your theme, like, if you do a sci-fi one, and then provide different how many people you have. So say you have a game master and four players, and you make holes for them, and then you have different ones. So you have like a 4 up, a 2 up, a 3 up, and you just use whatever you need. If you have 6 people, maybe we have something with 7. A DM and 6 players.
I'm basically seeing the scene in my head where, yeah, you're having the PNG that already has the transparent areas in it. So you put the cameras behind that PNG, but then on top of the PNG, you also have aligned layers of text so that people can quickly put the text in there. Or if you want to swap it out with a pretty picture, that's fine too. Um, and yeah, to be able to say, okay, I'm going to create a scene collection, and this one is, yeah, 2 cameras, 3 cameras, 4 cameras, or the usual like 6. That would be nice because then the person can get it and all they would have to do is replace the background with something else, which once it's in your OBS scene collection, that's just a matter of clicking on this one source and saying, instead of the image that came with it, I want the image to be this other thing. So yeah, could be fun, could be cool.
Yeah. So yeah, and yeah, as Finite points out, and Herb said earlier, it'd be perfect for co-streaming.
I would love to do that, to just like
Yeah.
to blow somebody's mind, to think like 2 people are co-streaming on different channels, but it looks like they're in the exact same layout and everything
Mm-hmm.
is identical.
That'd be amazing. So yeah, keep that in mind. That's an upcoming thing. It looked really cool already, even in its current state. I was very impressed. And yeah, and we'll talk about it more once it's out and available. Right. Any other things that you may have seen today that we haven't touched on?
I purposely did not look at the internet today. Okay, so no,
No.
because there's too many things already. I did not look at the internet today, but yes, this week was a lot of tech stuff was announced. I'm trying to think if there's any really particular, no. Blue Sky had its first year of being public. So they celebrated their 1 year of being publicly open this week. That's just a footnote, really. And no, nothing major. But if I think of anything, I'll throw it in DC's Tech Friday channel in his Discord.
Yeah. So, all right. We do have some TTRPG things. I know me covering something TTRPG related. That's unlikely. But
That's so ridiculous. That's not something that we do around here. Not at all. We don't do TTRPG stuff around here. Nah.
nah. So first up, Demiplane and Roll20 made an announcement. If you don't know, Roll20 purchased Demiplane a while ago, and now they have tighter integration. And so if you buy your TTRPG over on Demiplane, they have a Nexus for it. It also unlocks on Roll20, and they have up the companies that this works for right now. I don't think it's for everybody yet, or all the companies Demiplane works with, but it's for a lot of them. There's the Blue Sky post to check out all the details on that. And so, yeah, if you're into Roll20, there's a way to save some money and get some more tools.
I think that's nice. It's what a lot of, because I know when it comes to virtual books, you do have to pick your platform, and you've got to say, okay, we're only going to play on this one because this is where I own all my books. So that's nice to say, okay, now there are more options, way more options.
Whole lot of options. All right. And I'm going to kind of go with more, since we're talking about VTTs and that, Fantasy Grounds also had an announcement where they now have a one-time $50 license. Before, they had a lot of tiers and everything, but they simplified it down to, you can still, pay monthly, but if you want, just a one-time fee, $50. And that started on February 4th, so not that long ago. And
they also say like all licenses purchased are ultimate licenses. So even if you're not doing the one time, it still means you can. Oh, it's interesting. It's on their front. I'm looking at their front page, and they talked about the $50 license, but also hosting. Your players only need the free demo for any license that you buy, including the monthly. Very cool.
Yeah, so your players just need to download the free demo, and they can join your game as long as you have a license for it. You can do all the things through Fantasy Grounds if that's your preferred thingy. VTT.
I've got to learn VTT. I'm not great at virtual. I'm much more theater of the mind, so I need to learn a little bit more about VTT.
Yeah, I use D&D Beyond Maps in my home game because, surprise, I play D&D. Who would have guessed? And I really like what they've been doing with maps a lot, because now I can run full encounters just in maps, and so that's been great.
Wow.
Rex since when, right? Chris has been using Foundry. Foundry's another good choice.
It's just a little known game. It's not very popular. It's very indie. You may not have heard of it. It's okay.
Wait, DC plays D&D? No, I don't believe it. I know, right? I don't believe it either. But apparently it's true. So speaking of D&D,
what a perfect segue.
If you had pre-ordered the new monster manual, was this Dungeons and Dragons you speak of? You can now access that on D&D Beyond. You can also get the alternate cover at your FLGS. So if you want it, there's the link to it. I had it sent to me because I am in the content creators program.
It's across the room over there.
It's across the room.
It's currently under pre-order on their website for digital and physical. So I actually think it comes out on the 18th, unless they have changed that. Let me check.
Yes, the regular edition comes out on the 18th. Yeah.
So
here's the alt cover. Yeah.
Very pretty.
It's very pretty. Got a lot of info. I did do a talk on this earlier in the week. So if you go
thick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Just noticed like that book is huge. This is why I don't pick mine up, because I have back pain. But yeah, no, it's so big.
If you go under my YouTube live streams, I do have a stream where I just go over the monster manual. So check that out. Phrasing.
I know what I said.
I don't know if anyone heard that thud, but that was the monster manual.
I was going to say, I thought that was in my apartment. What? I am also in the D&D creator program, and I like they're very good at saying, "Hey, something's on the way," which is great. I just also hope that it's only ever like 1 or 2 books, because I will go into the package locker and pick it up and I'm just like, "Oh, okay. This is big. This is heavy. This is why I do digital." Okay.
Tanya, I thought someone was knocking. Amazing.
They have a nice rich thud. If you need a nice rich thud sound in your
Yeah.
game, just drop the monster manual like from a small height. You're good to go.
Yeah. Oh, you dropped the Oxford English Dictionary there for a sec. All the volumes.
Ah.
Oh, I'll do it again, just for everyone's enjoyment.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I legit thought something. Yeah, I thought something was like falling in my apartment when that happened. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Nice. Amazing.
All right. And nobody was hurt in the making of the stream, right? All right. Moving on from D&D, though, is an excellent itch bundle for Solo But Not Alone 5. And you want to talk about this?
Sure. So this is obviously the 5th Solo But Not Alone, and these are these are a bundle of single player tabletop RPGs of all different kinds. They cover different genres, different styles. They sell the bundle for $10 to benefit mental health, and they partner with Take This. So far, they've raised over $7,800, and it's going to go for another 3 months. So you have time if you'd like to peruse the games and take a look. But yeah, it's I I don't. I mean, I love to look and read through single player RPGs. I don't play them as much as I should. Um, and I feel like maybe I need to look into some solo journaling ones, because maybe a little introspection would be nice in these trying times. But it's a very easy cost for a lot of games. Do they say how many there are in it? 107. So 107 different styles of games. And the best thing about a big bundle like this is, you may not be interested in all the games at all, but if you're even interested in more than a few, buy the bundle, because buying them individually is going to cost you a lot more. And they're just always in your itch library forever.
Yeah. I have a folder on my cloud storage that has all my TTRPG books I've purchased. I got one of these big itch bundles. So there's like 100 books in there. I'll probably never go through all of them, but there's,
Right.
100 different PDFs in there that I can look at if I want to. And yeah, these are amazing deals. Plus, you get to help Take This, one of my favorite organizations for charity. That's
Yeah.
where most of the charity games I run on this channel, where that money goes to. And you have the same problem, yeah.
Yeah, my TTRPG folder now is like, oh, are you ever going to play any of these? No, but I like to read them and look through them and maybe think about playing them one day.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's totally
yeah,
fine.
It's fine. All right. So, if there are any questions about anything we've talked about, now's the time. We have a few minutes left to get into it. We are supporting the arts. At least that's why I tell myself. Exactly. We have a few minutes left to get in any questions that you might have. If we went over something a little too quickly, or you need a recap of anything, let us know. Otherwise, we're just going to kind of wind down. I'm going to look for other articles. Well, yeah. We vamp or something. I don't know.
I mean, well, he said recap, so I know people came in on raids, and they came in because people have lives, so they can't watch every stream ever from the beginning. So if you do catch up with the VOD for this later, or you catch up with it after it's been edited onto YouTube, although you can also go see it live on YouTube. I don't like that they put live on a different tab on YouTube, because it feels like it's harder to find. But what the main point of today was talking about different options for getting yourself a web presence and we talked about some options for websites, some options for link in bio sites, and some email newsletters. And we also touched on the fact that a lot of streamers, especially, already have Patreon and Coffee things, so they can also use those as links, as linked, not link trees, but you can use those as newsletters as well. So that was like the gist of what we talked about in the first hour, and then it was just us geeking out about tech and TTRPG stuff. Yeah. Do not put a link in your BIOS. Don't do that. Also, don't put strange USB devices into your computer. Although I saw a picture today on Blue Sky of one that looked like a transformer. It was the little lion transformer that came out of Blaster's cassette mode, and it
Uh-huh.
was a USB thing. And I was like, that I would be very hard. It would be very hard for me not to do that.
Yeah.
Look, you laugh about MS DOS, but I have made my coworkers, because right now, um, right now I work for a contractor to agencies that are currently doing a lot of changing information on their public facing websites, which means I have to touch and update a lot of files at one time. And we don't necessarily have a content management service system. So people have been like, how have you done that so fast? And I'm basically just writing batch files of like copy. Yeah, exactly. Copy and rename all these things. And they're just like, what is this wizardry? And I'm like, it's DOS. It's just DOS. How do y'all not know this? So yeah.
What do you mean you don't know how to
But
edit your autoexec.bat?
honestly, so. But then because they don't know anything, I'm like, actually, you know what? Don't try this on your own. Don't. You don't know. No, you don't know enough. Don't do anything at all.
Teach the children about command lines. Yes.
I once had a coworker stand behind me. And I think they weren't standing behind me to be weird. They were going to talk to me, but they watched me doing stuff without ever reaching for my mouse. And they were just like, just how are you doing all of this without ever clicking on your mouse? And I'm just like, do you not like, and I realized, of course, at their age and their level of computer like knowledge, they just didn't know that these things existed before we just used a mouse for everything. So yeah. Oh, you can dazzle your kid by not using a mouse. Like
Oh, speaking of bundles and kind of going along the lines of what you were just talking about, Herb, there is a RPG bundle of Holding Resistance bundle out this on Bell of Lost Souls here. So, I mean, for no reason in particular, there's an article about it. There's a few days left to get it if you want, and all the details are in that article there. You know, if you should want to do those things and feel that, you know, punching certain things is really neat and you want to do that in your TTRPG space, take a look at this bundle.
I will say, and again, I'm being wary about what I say because we are on sites that do demonetize certain things being said in videos, so I don't want that to happen. But right now, you are going to see so many RPGs, so many zines, so many pamphlets and PDFs that are being made by amazing marginalized artists, writers, creators, and you will be like, now is the time to get that physically or digitally, because what is in danger of happening is us losing that kind of art forever. You know, like I said, I work in public facing websites, and they are constantly editing and redacting information as if it never existed. And the one way for us to stop that is to get these things, have them, and share them. So definitely seek out the counterculture, seek out the punk stuff, seek out the alt zines, and when you see those links, share them out, because this is This is culture that we don't want to disappear. And we don't want to, like I wouldn't want us to be here in another 50 years time thinking, wow, what happened to all this cool stuff? It can't just be gone. So yeah.
Exactly. Your world is brighter with more colors in it, more art, and more perspectives. Go support cool culture, as Rex says, however you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do the things. All right. If there aren't any more questions, we should probably get to wrapping up because, oh boy, that was a lot of stuff to broadcast over the airwaves, as it were.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't go over this time.
Yeah, amazing.
I have made DC go over 2 hours every time I have visited except for today. So I feel good that on this maybe second anniversary of Tech Friday, kind of locked it in.
Yeah.
The third anniversary is going to be a 24-hour marathon.
So next year,
depending on the climate in the US, it may literally be a marathon with me on the run. So, who knows? I had to say something. I couldn't not say anything. I had to.
Yeah. No. Valid. All right. So, Brian, who are you? Where can people find you? What you doing coming up?
I am Urban Bohemian, aka Brian. I am a variety streamer, TTRPG performer, and sometimes GM when my arm is twisted. You can see me next streaming tomorrow morning. I have no idea what. I never do. It's very early on the weekend, so by all means, go to my channel, but stay in bed. Like, I'm really good to have on in the morning, when you're not like wanting to actually be awake. In person, if you are a person who enjoys Magic the Gathering, I will be at MagicCon Chicago in 2 weeks. Whoa! In 2 weeks, I will be at MagicCon Chicago, and actually, right about now, on Friday, we will be doing Dungeons and Delicacies, which is going to be an awesome one-shot run by Kathleen DeVere. It's going to be me and... Hold on a second, please. Wait.
One moment.
Wait, I have the names. Mike, Chef Mike H, who I can never pronounce his last name correctly, so I got to get that from him. Quincy and Z, we are all going to be playing in... I'm not telling anybody because we haven't really said, like, Dungeons and Delicacies may give you a little bit of a clue, but I don't want to give away anything until we've all decided to start talking about it. So keep an eye out. I'll post information to my social media with a cute little like graphic in our faces and hey, come see us. But that's if you're going to be at MagicCon Chicago. Also, if you're there and you want to teach me something about Magic that I don't know, it's going to be very easy because I don't know a lot about Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, and check out urbanbohemian.com for all the things. As we mentioned, blog post. If you want to see a WordPress site in action, go check that one out.
Yeah.
Be excellent. All right, I guess that just leaves me. I don't see anyone else around.
Who are you?
Yeah, who am I? Hi, I'm DC. Welcome. This has been my stream. You can find me, Blue Sky, and all other places under DC Lasair. Go to dclasair.com and I use a link in bio site, so if you want to see an example of that, come see all my stuff. You see, we wrap it all around from beginning to end. Coming up, I will be on TTRP Gifts channel for a charity stream at, what time is this? 5 p.m. Eastern on February 15th. I will be part of a Draw Steel campaign.
Oh, fun.
So yeah, I get to try it out. I get some of the rules. I mean, it's not even out yet, so we get to try a beta version. We'll be finishing off the night. There will be 2 Magic the Gathering games on Robo's channel before then, so check those out. One of those will have the amazing Painting Pirate on them, so please check that out. Here's my Blue Sky link And if you go into Robo's post, you'll see all the other cool streams going on as well.
And the charity, it benefits for the LA wildfire relief, right?
Yeah.
For this one? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And amazingly, I'm just a player, not producing. I'm not DMing, or they call them a director in this point. So I'm not directoring. Sure, that's a word. Why not? I can say it. It's my stream.
Yeah. There's not. I mean, there probably will be weird food puns, but only DC will have to like create and suffer them on her own. It won't be like the DM doing it again.
So fantastic players, and the producer of the producers will be one Lauren Urban, who we all appreciate. And yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I haven't played with anyone except Robo before, so all new peeps to me. That'll be a lot of fun.
Sweet. So yeah, that's happening next Saturday afternoon or
Yep,
evening.
February 15th, 5 p.m. my time, 5 p.m. Eastern.
Awesome.
So yeah. So go check out, donate to charity. It'll be a wonderful time. Robo does fantastic with all these charity drives. Check them out. And then if you want to see me in 3D, I too will be at MagicCon Chicago. I don't have any events there. I'll just be there hanging around, saying hey to people, maybe, looking away regretfully at something. I don't know. You can come by, say hi. Maybe I'll go, hey, how you doing? And then go back.
I can't tell. Are you trying to be shy, aloof, or cool? What is that?
Yes.
What is that? And then I will be standing right there next to him saying, hi, have you met DC Lasair?
And yes, no. Tanya, Cypher of Tyr will be there as well. I'll be behind both of you with a whiteboard.
We will have a very good friend group there. I'll be doing a one-shot. Tanya will be doing a learn. Are they calling it a learn and play or a learn? But you'll be doing a double session of learn, play D&D, make the characters, and then the second session, play the characters. So that's also happening. Check out. Oh, hold on. Crap. I had it earlier. And let me, panels and events. There we go. Okay. That's everything that's going on. And based on how a lot of these conventions and ReedPop goes, that's probably going to continue to update all the way up until next week, because it's kind of how they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you are going to be there in person, I'll say tentatively, let me know ahead of time, because I am going to have my one event and then I'm just going to be wandering around. I have some local friends who will be there. I have friends who I've never met before who I know online because I mentioned Magic the Gathering, and mentioning Magic the Gathering on social media all of a sudden is like, wait, what? And you talk to these new people. But yeah, it's going to be a fun time. I will be complaining about the cold because I am a wuss. So I did that the last time I was in Chicago in February was C2E2, and I complained about the cold then. So yes, that's what I do. I have winter where I live. Yes, I don't have a scary lake next to where I live that looks like an ocean that will swallow you whole. And then somebody says, no, that's just a lake. I don't believe them. I heard the creaking of the ice on the lake one morning. I heard the creaking and crackling. And I'm like, no. And then of course I went there in summer and it was like, okay, well, it's nicer now and it's a lot frozen, but yeah, it's fun. And I'm really looking forward to it, but it's going to be cold. I don't.
Right. Also, going back to speaking of Cypher of Tyr, uh, go by. Let's see, where's this? April. I'm not sure how to pronounce the name of the channel. I'm not parsing it. But tomorrow, Goose Chase on
Oh
heck
yes.
of a Goose Chase at 5 to 9 p.m. Eastern on the channel. I'm trying to parse out the name. Apochromatic Unlimited. Yeah, Twitch.tv. So check out that announcement there. It'll be a lot of fun. If you haven't seen the Goose Chase game, you definitely need to check one out.
Oh yeah.
And check out that one. They'll be
And these,
fantastic.
yeah, this is a new. This is like I think this might be everyone's new to the Goose Chase, so it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And I will say, having been in several of the Goose Chase games, it showcases how flexible Tanya can be as a GM, because I would say in a number of them, we've never actually gotten to the actual plot. Period. We would like, I mean, and I'm sitting there as a player ready to like get to the plot, and just the circumstances mean that we don't get to it. And I'm like, okay, we'll roll with this. So yeah, it's going to be a fun time.
All right. So I think that will be all for today. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, who rated today? Had Mermaid Jeans and Zero. Let's see. Was that it?
I thought we
Yes,
had
Mermaid Jeans and
two.
Zero
Yeah.
rated. Thank you, Finite Singularity and Omnis X for the new follows. I believe that finally puts me over 500 followers. If not, I'm very, very
Hey.
close. I will. Twitch might have to update, but yeah, I'll check it out. It'll be amazing. And I'll definitely post on Blue Sky if it's true. If Twitch tells me it's true or not. Because I'm still at 499, but now on Twitch's dashboard, but I don't know if somebody dropped and then I just got 2 followers, and so I'm still at 499, or if I actually made it over to 500. So
We'll see.
We'll see.
Go tell someone to follow DC. And I never worry about the followers vanishing, because I just assume that it's like somebody who got banned for bad activity somewhere else, so I don't want them as a follower
Yeah.
anyway.
Share your ban lists all if you stream. Handy tool. And also Siri bot.
Oh my goodness, SiriBot is unmatched. Like it's a little bit too powerful for its own good, and it's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, Siri bot. Thumbs up.
If you don't end this stream, DC, I swear.
All right. Thank you once again for being here. This has been a thing. It's supposedly the 2nd anniversary of Tech Friday, but who knows, really. We'll do the confetti one more time. We'll close out on confetti. We'll see who is around for a raid. Any raid suggestions?
Oh, let me see.
And while we're looking for that, I will be back Monday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, with more Ender Magnolia. It's a fantastic looking game. If you haven't checked out and you like Metroidvanias and you like the first one, definitely check out this game.
Fawn and Games is on.
Fawn and Games, yeah.
That'll be a lovely place to go. Fawn is a lovely Canadian queer streamer, does a lot of charity stuff, does a lot of spotlighting of indie games and small devs. I think they've gone a little overboard into the Pokemon trading card game. So all of those good things over there. Very high energy. So if you're needing something nice to have on in the background while you wind down your day, it's a really good target.
All right. And so, for me and Urban Bohemian, we'll see you all later. Check out Herb's stream tomorrow. Bye.